But I do see like people blaming it like solely on Jay-Z when I don't think that's the truth. I think it's a committee, it's a board. I feel like it's different people who come into play when decisions like that are made. I do think it would have been great for Lil Wayne to be, just because of how much he's done in the game and how much he's meant to New Orleans, and that would have been a great opportunity. Never know if he's going to be included, if that was something that was behind the scenes. I think it was interesting that Kendrick got it after the Drake battle and shit too. I think that's more something that should be talked about. I think his relevance is really up from that, so that could be something that tip the scale too.
So let's talk about the decision, right? With Jay-Z being blamed completely by the hip hop culture. Nicki Minaj spoke out. We ain't gotta play that clip. Right? Is it about love for Weezy or hate for Hov? Or a little bit of both too, Shay. Go ahead.
From where I stand, from what I've heard and how I computed, bro, I think it's Jay's dislike for maybe the South a little bit, maybe misunderstanding a real relationship with the South. You know what I mean? In terms of putting it on or highlighting it, I don't know. I've always felt like that about Jay. Secondly, Jay petty, and he don't forget shit. You know what I'm saying? Kidnap your lady, get that how much you like your lady money. He ain't forgot. He in a position of power now, man. We talking about the same dude who went back and forth with Nas and became his boss, coincidentally. So I don't know. I'm not a Jay hater. I actually appreciate Jay. And
all right, we know that. Yeah, we know that.
And I don't know, man. I think it's just a perfect storm. It's Kendrick right now. It's everybody think Wayne is stuck in 07. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of opinions. There's a gumbo right now that's drawing. I think that the most common theme though is like Jay did it, and Jay's in the way of it. Yeah, for sure.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah.
That's to me, man. It's like we always pick the people out that we choose. It's not Jay-Z, bro. Like that's not his. He's not making any sole decisions over the NFL and who's performing. Now it's already been leaked out that when a city is chosen for the Super Bowl to host the Super Bowl, the performance, the main event is chosen by the city, the mayor and the council and all those people have influence. I think Jay-Z makes the connects to hip hop and music. He makes it easier. He's on some kind of board. He's over something now, but it's not his
$25 million over 5 years. He's doing something.
Yeah, he's working. He's making the connects. But he has a job and a boss. I don't think it was personal against Wayne. I think it's when you're dealing with this little council, they're looking at the algorithm, they're looking at the numbers. Who's the hottest person right now? Who's on fire? Kendrick Lamar. If you look at streams, then like you said, Shay, the 07 Wayne is not at his peak right now.
But see, that's the debate though, like, and where it gets wide. So when we say things like, the hot artist right now, that hadn't been the normal though. That ain't been what's been the consistent measure. Shakira wasn't, in my estimation, hot necessarily. Rihanna had been off the map for years. She came back and did all her hits. She wasn't necessarily hot. Now the Weeknd was hot as fish grease.
But I think they also weren't booked in their cities.
No, agreed.
That's what I was.
So when did that come in? I never seen that. Like they're blaming Jay-Z, like it's in New Orleans. You got to make that happen with Wayne. When did that demand become something? Because Jay-Z made it happen with the Dr. Dre, the Compton show.
That it kind of set forth a small. Yeah, what you think, now?
It's actually a clip out that I meant to send y'all the other day of when Jay, like when he first took over this. And it's a clip of him sitting in a board meeting, and he talked about how he didn't want to get in the habit of booking artists in
Got
the
that.
city that they from. Like he didn't want to make that a thing. He's like, that's
It's
not the
sticky.
norm, and then it becomes every place you go. He's like, I can't put every hot artist or major artist from this city every year. It's not realistic. So it's like this really wouldn't even be a conversation if the Super Bowl wasn't in New Orleans.
And if it wasn't Jay-Z.
Right.
Yeah,
and
right.
This is something else that we do know that Jay has reached out to. It wouldn't even matter. If Jay reached out to Drake, Drake has turned down the Super Bowl multiple times.
Conflicting reports. So Elliot Wilson says that he got plugs that say yes, Drake has turned it down up to at least twice.
Yeah.
Drake or Drake affiliated people have come back and said it's a blatant lie. There's no truth in it at all. And for them to come back and want to correct something like that.
When you booked Drake before you booked Wayne, though, like
they claim that those were Jay's first years on the contract with trying to get Drake 2 years in a row.
This just seems so easy. They always say this like black figureheads have it so hard when we know how to point out our own. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, he the CEO. We know Diddy. People don't even know how to recognize Jimmy Iovine. Right, Leo Cohen. They don't really do that to these people like that, like they do like the people we know, our household names.
And speaking of that, Jay Electronica, we got to touch on that in the news too. Remind me.
Okay, because I don't know what Jay Electronica. He said some things.
You just mentioned Jimmy Iovine and Leo Cohen, and he used their names in his going off on Birdman and Nicki, and he was pretty much defending Jay. So it was kind of like, man, I don't respect no gangster, no fake gangster that want to turn up for the black man but ain't got it up for the white man. You ain't say all that shit to Jimmy Iovine and Leo Cohen and this person and that person, but you want to take it up for Jay and this, that, and the third. He was like, y'all gonna keep acting like y'all ain't do Turk dirty when he really from the Magnolia and y'all ain't.
Right. And then what was this with Birdman? I keep it a stack, bro. You was running around with Thug when dudes shot up Wayne's tour bus, bro. We gonna keep it a whole stack. You stole money from Wayne, bro. Like Wayne was out here hurting. We had to do the whole Free Weezy tour. Right. So where was all this? Like, let's get Birdman. But y'all attack Jay-Z, the man that's helping people. It's all about being envious of his success. And it's similar like what I said about Drake. It's like, y'all really ain't really just for Kendrick. Like, it's more about your hate for Drake than it is your love for what Kendrick is doing. Because y'all don't even follow Kendrick like that. When I ask, you know about the heart? Like I said, no, I don't know what that is, but play that They Not Like Us. Man, come on. That's not, you envious, bro. You just want somebody to destroy Drake. You don't really care who it is.